watching German Gyan. My name is Nidhi and guys, today we are up with a new series and this new series is all about sentence structures. Yes guys. Yes guys, in this we're gonna have 4 episodes. So this is the first episode of sentence structure A1. So yes, we thought why not to compile all the German grammar and keep it in front of you as a sentence structure series. So this in A1, whatever sentence structure you have learned, whether it is of German cases, whether it is modal verb, trained Byron verbs, whatever you have learned, we have compiled in this one video and we have given to you because it's gonna be super duper helpful revision video. If you are doing A1 or you are up to the A2 also, you can practice this, you can just master A1 grammar. Everything will be in present tense. Of course, A1 is all about present tense. So make sure to subscribe German Gyan if you are watching for the very first time. Then my name is Nidhi and I am a CEO and the founder of German Gyan. German Gyan provides you online and offline classes. We do provide teacher training program, exam preparation, brush up classes, interview preparation, like whatever you can think around German Gyan is a one-stop solution for you. Let's start the video because I am very excited. Let's go.
Let's discuss all the sentence structures which we use in A1 level. The first sentence structure is of simple main clause and the structure is subject plus verb plus object. Now remember, you can never change the place of the verb. It has to be always on the second position. For example, ich trinke Wasser. Next, du lernst Deutsch. And third, wir spielen Fußball. So these are the main clause sentences and this is the sentence structure. The second sentence structure is of Ja, Nein, Fragen. In Ja, Nein, Fragen, you get the answer in either yes or no. That's why the name is Ja, Nein, Fragen. Now the sentence structure is verb, subject, object, and remember to put the question mark. For example, wohnst du in Berlin means do you live in Berlin? So you can just simply answer either Ja or Nein. Second question, kommst du aus Indien means are you from India? So again you can just simply say Ja oder Nein. And then arbeitest du heute means are you working today? So these are basically the questions where you get the answer in either yes or no. The next sentence structure is of W-Fragen. So W-Fragen are the words which are used to ask the questions. The same kind of topic we have in English also. So the sentence structure is W-Fragen word, then your verb, then subject and then the object. For example, wie heißt du? So here comes at the first place your W word, then your verb which is conjugated according to the subject and then your subject. And please remember to put the question mark at the end of the sentence. So this is your first example means what is your name. Second is wo wohnst du means where do you live. And third is was machst du heute means what are you doing today. Then next sentence structure is of modal verb. In modal verb sentence, first comes the subject, then the modal verb which is conjugated according to the subject, then other informations or the object, and at the end of the sentence comes the main verb. Now remember, main verb is not conjugated. It means it will come in the infinitive form. For example, let's say your main verb is sagen, so you will use it as it is, like you are going to write sagen only. You don't have to conjugate it because you are already conjugating the modal verb at the second place. So for example, ich kann Deutsch sprechen means I can speak German. So here in this sentence, first the subject ich, then the modal verb kann which is conjugated according to the subject, then your other information and at the end sprechen in the infinitive form. Second sentence is wir müssen heute lernen means we must study today. And third is du sollst mehr lesen means you should read more. Now, if you want to frame a question with a modal verb, then your sentence structure will be your modal verb will come at the first position, which will get conjugated according to the subject. Then at the second place, your subject will come, then other informations, and then the main verb at the end of the sentence. Now remember, main verb will not get conjugated, it will be in the infinitive form. So that means you only have to conjugate the verb, which is the modal verb, and that is according to the subject. Now for the first example is Can I speak German? So here you can say kann ich Deutsch sprechen? And of course a question mark because this is a question. Second question, should we study today? So sollen wir heute lernen? And third, should you read more? So sollst du mehr lesen? So these are the sentence structures of modal verb with wie fragen. Another topic of A1 level is imperative. So imperative is used for giving command or suggestion to some other person. And first comes the sentence structure with do. So the sentence structure with do is that you are going to use the verb, and remember you are only going to use the stamp of the verb. That means you are not going to conjugate it. Then comes the object, and at the end of the sentence there will be an exclamatory mark. For example, the verb is gehen. Now if you want to say you go, then in the imperative you will write geh. That's it. You don't have to write the subject. In imperative with do, you only write the verb and then the object and then the exclamatory mark. So in this particular sentence there is no object, so you can just simply write geh and the exclamatory mark. Another verb is kommen. You conjugate it as kommst with do, but again here you have to use the stamp only, and the stamp of the verb is kom. So your sentence will be kom and then the exclamatory mark. Another verb lernen, with do it is lernst, but again we are going to use the stamp, so it will be lern and then the question mark. Now comes the imperative mit ihr. Again the sentence structure is same, that you are going to use the verb and the object and at the end the exclamatory mark. That means you are not going to use the subject. But remember here you are going to use the verb which is actually conjugated according to ihr. For example, the verb is gehen. With ihr you conjugate it gate, and in imperative also you will write gate and then the exclamatory mark. Another verb is lesen, and conjugation is lest, and in imperative also you are going to use it as it is, lest and then the exclamatory mark. Now the imperative with sie, here you are going to use verb, and now comes the subject, then the object and the exclamatory mark. That means here you are going to use the verb which is conjugated according to the sie, and then you are going to use the sie also and then the object. For example, the verb is gehen, and in imperative you will say gehen sie. Remember, verb will come first and then the subject will come, so you will write gehen sie and then the exclamatory mark. Another verb is warten. In imperative it will be warten sie, means you wait please, like this, and the exclamatory mark. Now remember, it is very important to write the exclamatory mark if the sentence is an imperative, because these sentences starts with verb, and if you won't put the imperative, I mean the exclamatory mark, then you and other can get confused that whether this is a sentence of the imperative or you are actually asking a question. So please put the exclamatory mark. Trennbare Verben are the separable verbs. That means if you are going to use these verbs, then you have to separate these. Now these verbs are formed with a verb and a prefix. So the prefix goes at the end of the sentence. Now the sentence structure is just normally your subject will come, then your verb will come which is conjugated according to the subject, then your object will come, and at the end your prefix will come. For example, the verb is aufstehen. Aufstehen means to get up. Now in this verb aufstehen, auf is the prefix and stehen is the verb. So auf will go at the end of the sentence and stehen will be conjugated according to the subject at the second place. For example, ich stehe 7 Uhr auf, means I get up at 7 o'clock. Next is ruft seine Mutter an, means he calls his mother. Here the verb is anrufen and an is the prefix, so it's at the end of the sentence, and rufen is conjugated according to the subject. Next verb is Fernsehen. Fernsehen means to watch TV, and here in this verb Fern is the prefix, and your sentence will be Wir sehen abends fern, means we watch TV in the evenings. Then the second structure with Trennbare Verb is of modal verb. That means you are going to use Trennbare Verb and modal verb together. Now most of the students get confused, because if you are using Trennbare Verb, then you have to separate the verb, but how will you separate the verb if you are going to use modal verb? So here comes the sentence structure, and the structure is that the first place subject will come, Then at the second place your modal verb will come, which will be conjugated according to the subject. Then your object will come, and at the end your Trænvære verb will come. Now remember, in this sentence structure you don't have to separate the Trænvære verb, because if we use the modal verb in a sentence, then we have to follow the sentence structure of modal verb. And modal verb sentence structure says that the action verb on the main verb will go at the end of the sentence in the infinitive form. That means you have to use the original form of the verb. You don't have to separate it. You don't have to conjugate it. So just use the as it is verb. For example, Ich muss morgen früh aufstehen means I have to get up early tomorrow. So here I have used the muss, which is the modal verb, at the second place according to the subject, and your action verb or the main verb aufstehen is in the infinitive form at the end of the sentence. So that means you don't have to worry about separating the verb if you are using the modal verb with it. Another sentence is Sie will das Radio einschalten means she wants to turn on the radio. Third, wir dürfen heute Abend Fernsehen means we are allowed to watch TV tonight. Now the sentence structure of Trænvære with V-Fragen. And the sentence structure is, first will come your V-Fragen word, then your verb, then subject, then rest of the sentence, and then the prefix of your Trænvære verb. For example, verb is aufstehen and your sentence will be wann stehst du auf means when do you get up. So at the first place is your V-Fragen word, which is wann. Then at the second place is your verb. Now because this is a separable verb, so the prefix is at the end of the sentence, and at the third place is the subject. Another example is of anrufen verb. Anrufen is again a separable verb, so your sentence will be wen rufst du an means whom are you calling. Another verb is mitkommen means to come along, and your sentence will be warum kommst du nicht mit means why aren't you coming along. Negation in German with kein. So kein is used to negate a unbestimmt article or a noun without any article. Now what you have to remember is that kein is not the only word. That means it has a complete table like bestimmt article and unbestimmt article. And the rule is follow. The way you pick the bestimmt article or unbestimmt article for any noun, the same way you have to put or pick kein also. And your sentence structure will be subject, verb, then kein, and then the noun which you want to negate. For example, if you want to say I have no money, here you can say ich habe kein Geld. Next, she has no siblings, so you can say sie hat keine Geschwister. And we are not buying an apple, so wir kaufen keinen Apfel. Now as you can see, at the first sentence I have used kein, in the second sentence keine, and in the third sentence keinen, because kein changes its case according to the case of the sentence and the noun. So you have to follow that table. Negation in German with nicht. So nicht is used if you want to negate a verb, and your sentence structure will be subject, then verb, then object, and the nicht will go at the end of the sentence. For example, I am saying that I am not sleeping. So here I am negating the verb sleeping. So I'll say ich schlafe nicht. Second sentence, we are not waiting. So here I am negating the word waiting, which is warten, and it is a verb. So I'll say wir warten nicht. Another sentence is he is not working. So again here I am negating the word working, which is a verb, and my sentence will be arbeitet nicht. So what you have to remember is that if you are negating a verb, then place the nicht at the end of the sentence. Apart from negating a verb using nicht, you can also use nicht for negating other things. For example, an adjective, an adverb, or a possessive pronoun. So in this case, your sentence structure will be subject, then your verb, then nicht, and then the particular thing which you want to negate. Like if you want to negate the adjective, so you can write adjective after nicht. But if you want to negate an adverb, then place adverb after nicht. That means the important thing is that for particular thing which you are negating, you have to first write nicht and then the thing which you are negating. For example, I am not happy. So here you are negating the word happy. Here what you have to do is you need to first place the nicht and then happy. So your sentence will be Ich bin nicht glücklich, means I am not happy. Then second sentence is she does not speak quickly. So here quickly is an adverb, and here what you have to do is, again first you have to write the nicht and then you have to write the adverb. So your sentence will be Sie spricht nicht schnell. And third sentence is that is not my book. Now here you are negating the word my book, which is a possessive pronoun. So your sentence will be Das ist nicht mein Buch.
So guys, how was this video? I hope you are a master of A1 sentence structure now. Stay tuned for the next episode of A2 sentence structure and so on, B1 and B2. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, keep learning German with German Gang.